Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of Fly Guy Ron. Well, we're taking a break from the fishing action this week and we're going to talk about gear, specifically what's in my sling pack. I've gotten a ton of questions regarding that, so officially I'm going to answer them. Flies, okay? I generally will have about 3 or 4 boxes, and they are going to be all arranged by main category, which is basically mayfly, caddis, midges, stoneflies, and terrestrials. And what you want to make absolutely sure, this is a mess right in here. This is like my day box. As you can see, I've got terrestrials right here. Hopefully you can see that. And generally what you want to make sure of, no matter what you pack in your fly boxes, you want to make sure that you've got various sizes, shapes, and colors of each type of fly. Doesn't mean you have to go crazy. Just get 2 or 3. Most important is going to be the size. The size is very important. Color is the least important. Shape, yeah, that's going to be important. So do it in that order. That's how you're going to match the hatch. And again, I have these. I use these little containers for bigger flies. And it's basically, you want to make sure that you have enough room in your bag. And these just help out in trying to find things when you're digging through the bag. So that's flies. Okay, another piece of gear that we have to have in our bag are leaders. 9-foot or 7.5-foot length. Also, you're going to have it in various X's. I generally use 4, 5, or 6X, and that should cover me for a day's worth of fishing. The next piece of gear that you're going to want to have is forceps. Forceps are very important for a variety of reasons, but the main 2 reasons you want to have them is to safely remove the hook from the fish's mouth. And you can do it and without hurting the fish. You can get in there and grab it, turn it, push it, pull it back out, and there you go. The forceps are also used to push down on the barb to make it a barbless hook, and that will result in you being able to release the fish much quicker because it comes right out once you pull. And but yeah, forceps. Also, you want to make sure, if possible, you have this needle here. And that can be used to clear out the eye of the hook. So there you go. Next piece of gear you're going to want to have are split shots. Split shots come in a container like this. They are pieces of lead in various sizes and weights, and they're generally used to get the flies down deep in front of the fish that are on the bottom. And they come in a variety of sizes. Some are very large, some are very small. But anyway, you want to make sure that if you can use a variety of different sizes on the rigs, and in those nymph rigs, what I prefer is to use a lot of the small ones, because you use the big ones, they'll get you down there quick, but they also have a much bigger rate of getting caught on the rocks down under. And the smaller ones generally don't have that problem for the most part. The next piece of gear that I always want to have are strike indicators. That's a fancy name for a bobber. And the thing that I like about these strike indicators from Orvis is that they come apart. And I don't know if you can see this, there's a slot here where you put the leader on, and then when you want to put it on the right depth and length of that leader, then you go ahead and you screw it down, and it doesn't move. And let's say you want to change it. You want to change the depth, whether it be deeper or closer to the top. Then you just go ahead and do this. You don't have to undo it completely. Move it up or down, and then twist it, and you're set. They come in a variety of sizes and colors. My preference is a double color. That way I can see it better. The next thing you want to have in your pack is an all-in-one tool. I just like having it for safety reasons. It's got knives, a screwdriver, a bottle opener, a wrench, and a variety of other things. And it's just insurance. You know, using it for fish or in an emergency situation, you can use it as well. It's always good to have. Next, we've got sunscreen for your face and for your lips. High SPFs, absolutely imperative to keep cancer off your skin. I've had multiple surgeries to remove them because I was stupid in my youth. But now I'm telling you, Make absolutely sure any exposed areas of your body, mostly your face, but everything else, you're going to want a high SPF factor, whether it's a cream, a spray, you keep it in your pack. Another thing to have in your sling bag is polarized sunglasses. You want to keep them on your face as much as possible for safety reasons. Basically, it cuts the glare so you can see into the water, and on the riverbed, you'll be able to see the fish. And you'll also be able to spot the holes that run deep, and you can avoid them when you're having these sunglasses on. They cut the glare. That's its main importance. And in doing so, it's also going to protect your eyes from UV. They come in a variety of colors. I use the amber or the copper. It seems to work for me best. And it's just something that I never go fishing without. Okay, the next piece of gear that I always have in my bag are floating. They are going to be in liquid form and powder form. Initially, the floatant that is liquid before your fly gets wet. And that, putting a little dab on the fly for the dries with this, will keep it floating longer. And once you fish the fly several times and it looks like it's starting to sink a little bit, then you go to the powder. The powder is real easy. You flip the top, you stick the fly in there with the leader, close it, shake it a little bit, open it, take it out, blow on it, and you're set to go. But you only use this one when the fly is wet. When the fly is dry, use the liquid form. Okay, as you can see on my Orvis pack, I've got a tippet holder. And you can put as many of these as you want. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6, 7, or 8, depending upon how thick you have it. But that keeps it easily accessible. And right now, I generally fish 4 to 6X. So that's these three here. And these are monofilament. Monofilament is great because it's cheap, it floats naturally, and although it does, it's not so great with abrasion. But most people fish with that. These two I have here are 5X and 6X, and these are fluorocarbon. Fluorocarbon tippets are very pricey, but they do sink naturally, and they're abrasion resistant. So if you were going to nymph and put together a nymph rig, bounce rig, you'll want to use fluorocarbon. The great thing about fluorocarbon is that it's very invisible in the water. Fish can't see it. So if you've got finicky fish that are easily spooked, use the fluorocarbon. Okay, moving on. Another safety item, a whistle. Very important to have in your bag. If you get into trouble, if you want to make sure that a bear knows you're there, this whistle will accomplish it. If you run into trouble, you're hurt, you're lost, there's only so much you can scream before getting extremely tired, hoarse, etc. You do this, they will hear it far, far away, and you'll still be able to acknowledge that there's a bear nearby, and the bear will know that you're there. So always have this whistle with you. Okay, another piece of gear that you want to have in your bag are pre-tied dry dropper. And what that is, as you can see, I've got 5X tippet. Hopefully you can see that. And I've already attached it to the hook on this dry chubby Chernobyl. And that I've already preset that at some point where I'm fishing, all I have to do, instead of tying that knot and this knot, I've already pre-tied it. I have it connected to the hook of the chubby Chernobyl, and all I have to do is find the right nymph, and then I tie that on with an improved clinch knot. If you're wondering how to tie those, go to my video in the instructional section of my channel, and I've got 3 nice, in-depth ways to tie the clinch, the improved clinch, and the surgeon knot. Those are the 3 that you need. Okay, something else that we want to discuss. I use this pouch to fold my license up and have it on a zinger or a retractor, so that if I get stopped by a wildlife management person, they can see it very quickly. I don't have to fumble trying to find my phone. But another piece of gear that you want to have is this retractor. You always want to have the most frequently used equipment on these, so you can get quick access to them, and you're not fumbling around in your pack. So what do I have on there? I've got my measuring tape, Okay, I've got a place to hold my license, and a place to hold and frequently use, which are my nippers. These set of nippers are average cost, and they also have this point that will clear the eye of the hook if it gets clogged. So I generally have a backup as well to these nippers. Okay, and it's a real cheap alternative that you can use instead of the nippers that they sell to you in the fishing stores. Nail clippers, a fraction of the price, and it does the same thing. Another piece of gear that you're going to want to have in your pack is a carabiner. And I use these for a variety of uses. What I generally do is I put them on the strap of my pack, and I hang my water bottle from it. I also have another one on the other side here that I put my face towel on, and I can use that for drying off flies, wiping my brow if I'm real sweaty. But having a few of these in various sizes is always a great thing to have. And last but not least, snacks. I always want to have my favorite snacks in here that are not too sugary, that will provide some protein and keep me full while I'm on the water. You don't want to have anything with high sugar content because you're going to crash at some point, so that's not good. But fruit bars, beef jerky is another one. That's pure protein, lots of salt. But these are my favorite. The granola bars, they always do the trick for a day's fishing. Well, there you have it, folks. All the gear that I keep in my pack, all of the questions have been answered. If you have any other questions, just drop me a line on my channel. If you would, please hit the like icon if you enjoyed the video. Also, subscribe if you have not subscribed before. Thanks again for watching my video, folks, and as always, I wish you tight lines.